Let's talk about dumbbells some more. What's up, crew? Happy Monday. Yes, it is Monday, which it's still a rest day now. I haven't changed anything. I promise not to change too many things soon. I don't know. A couple things we'll talk about today. It is a rest day, so no fitness. Just gonna have 3 topics to talk about. First one being Nanos versus Metcons. I've been talking about this for the last several videos and still just haven't gotten it done. The full video will be in its own playlist along with others in the future, which will be called product reviews. So keep an eye out for that. Also want to go over another dumbbell technique. I know I'm being a little clickbaity. It's like I'm trying to grow this channel or something. We're going to talk about dumbbell snatches, single arm snatches, 2 different techniques and which one I believe is the most efficient. And then finally, a Motivation Monday. We didn't have one last week because I was all scramble brains and couldn't figure out what the heck I was doing. It might sound like a broken record, but it's a topic that it's always fresh on my mind and it's always coming up with other people. So stay tuned for all of that. So let's talk about shoes. Metcons versus Nanos. This is the hot topic. It's nothing new. It's been around for, I think, probably the past 2 years, ever since Nike came out with their Metcon 1, and it seemed like they were denied access to the games as far as being a vendor or even being a presence. So they had their, I forget what the hashtag was, but they brought, basically they brought their van or truck or whatever and parked it outside and had like this whole thing. So anyways, they made a lot of noise. They came onto the scene for CrossFit. It used to just be Nanos. I had Nanos all my life. Sole is very sturdy. It's a wide base, a very, very minimalist shoe, but still very sturdy. They typically don't smell too bad. I don't know what to say. I've never done a product review before. And I love the mesh, very, very breathable. That tells you the quality is a little bit lower. I think that's the sole is just a little bit too thick, and that's not gonna be good when you're trying to do something like toes to bars, where you're constantly lifting your feet up to the bar. It's extra weight that you don't want. It didn't make me wanna buy it. It was definitely interesting, but then when I tested it out, it didn't do anything. And they smell. I'm getting a little bit of wear right here. Needless to say, I think you've already figured out which one I would choose. If you're new to CrossFit or you've been around and you're trying to figure out what you're gonna buy, all the way. So let's talk about the dumbbell snatch. All right, so there's 2 ways that you can hold the dumbbell or position the dumbbell as you're doing a single arm dumbbell snatch. And for me, at least, number 2 is, in my opinion, the most efficient way, but I'll go over number 1 just so that we cover them both. So number 1 is to position the dumbbell as if it's a barbell, basically, and that's parallel to you. The heads would be facing towards the sides, and you would grab down in the middle of the dumbbell. Different from the way I mentioned how you would hold for a front rack, you actually do want to grab the center of the dumbbell for a dumbbell snatch. That's just going to keep it. It's like doing a sumo deadlift high pull. You want to be as center as possible to the barbell, or else it gets wonky and you tap the ground weird. So with that grip, feel more like a regular snatch. The dumbbell path is going to be very similar. You're going to have a high elbow out to the side like a scarecrow, and then you're going to snap underneath and catch. Coming back down, same reverse style. And this is going to be efficient if you are very, very familiar with the snatch and haven't really messed around with technique number 2. Technique number 2 is to face the dumbbell perpendicular to you. It's still grabbing down the center, and basically what this is going to do is set it up somewhat like a kettlebell swing or a kettlebell snatch. But what you want to avoid is looping the dumbbell, because it's going to feel natural to do that. What I found is that this sets up a proper hand position on the catch. When you have the dumbbell up like this, you're now in a more proper position, is going to activate more muscles and reduce fatigue, because you're not relying on a smaller group of muscles. You're actually recruiting more at a time to keep that dumbbell overhead, and it's going to feel like a little bit more of a comfortable path from ground to overhead and back down, because you're not dumping the dumbbell down. You're just sort of bringing it, I don't know, in an arc. This actually made more sense in my head when I was thinking about talking about it, and now that I've discussed it on camera, I feel like I just made 0 sense. To answer a question, if you ask which one should I use, it's based on your comfort level. So if you try both of them and number 1 feels better than number 2, then I'd go with number 1. Don't try practicing number 2 just because I said it's a more efficient way. For me, it's more efficient because that's what I've always used. Regardless of the technique you use, there's 3 things you need to keep in mind. Catch with bent knees and stand it up. Don't try to muscle snatch it. Even if it's a super light dumbbell, you're gonna use more big movers than small movers if you drop underneath it like a power snatch and then stand it up. Number 2, keep that elbow nice and high through the transition into the catch. If you drop your elbow down and you try to do this, you're gonna end up pressing it up, and that's way more muscles than you need to use. You want to pop the hips and carry that elbow up so that when you get to here, now all it is a transition up to overhead. And number 3, unless it is blocked by standards or something that you're not allowed to do, when you're coming down, have that next hand ready and grab and switch down to the ground. This is also something that you may need to practice before the Open if you want to try it, but I wouldn't wait until the Open announces dumbbell snatches to try it out. Otherwise, you just go from overhead down to the ground, but have your other hand ready for right when it touches the ground to switch. That's my technique talk. At 6 minutes, that might be easier to get down to 4. I think I'm gonna go do the movements now really quick so that I have some B-roll, just in case you're wondering. And then we're gonna get into Motivational Monday. Bing! Whew! Yeah, I just did those dumbbell snatches. And I really only did like 15 to 20, and I'm out of breath. Yep, still not in shape. Motivational Monday. Today, it's gonna echo something that Gary Vee said recently, and he's been saying, and everyone's been saying, and I've been saying, I've said it a few times on Motivational Mondays, it's gonna take time to do whatever you wanna do. It's not gonna happen tomorrow, it's not gonna happen next week, unless you're some lucky motherfucker who gets a viral little video and blows up all of a sudden. In my opinion, that isn't true success, that isn't true growth. I don't think How About Dat Girl is gonna be relevant next year. She might stay relevant through the end of this year and be on the YouTube rewind because it was just such a ridiculous viral situation. That's not gonna happen for everybody. I was trying to think for a little while, what can I do that can be viral? I don't know if I want that. You know, I thought maybe my 300-pound Grace could be a viral moment, and hell, I still don't know. It might blow up all of a sudden randomly because right now it's over 3,000 views. It's at 3,280, I think. And that, for me at least, is a sweet milestone. And I'm so excited about that. But anyways, I digress. It's not gonna happen tomorrow. It's not gonna happen next week. It might not even happen next month. Hell, it might not happen in 10 years. But if you're passionate about what you're doing and you really, really believe in what you're doing, all it is a grind. Just keep it going until you get success. I had to swallow that advice myself for this vlog. You know, for a moment I thought, man, it's not really growing that fast, but that's not the point of it. You know, I'm here for you guys. I'm here to give you ideas for fitness. I'm hopefully here to motivate some of you who are stay-at-home dads, who are big guys, who are big girls, who are just looking to be successful in fitness or even try to live a healthier lifestyle. If I keep that goal in mind, I'm staying successful, and I'm still young. And Gary Vee has said that a million times too. He said he's still young. He's 41 years old, he says, and he says he feels like he's 7. I'm 28, turning 29 next month, and God, I have a lot of time. If he says he's young, I've got 10 more years before I can even start to say, man, I feel old. Motivational Monday. Just keep trucking along. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. That's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new, subscribe. If you're not new, like and share this video. And if you'd like to file a complaint or send some positive vibes, leave a comment. And until tomorrow, I'll see you later, crew. Yes, yes.